Manipur, Home Minister Amit Shah has now completed his 3-day outreach program where he has met stakeholders and has held over 50 meetings, meeting with the Kuki tribe members, also the Meitei community members. Let me give you a quick update of what all Home Minister Mr. Shah did in the last 3 days. He held over 50 meetings with civil society members, sports personalities, retired bureaucrats and women's groups in Imphal, Chura, Chandrapur and More, which saw a mix of complaints and optimism. The face-off in the state was, remember, sparked off in a quota face-off between the Meitei and Kukis, and the Home Minister heard both sides. The Meiteis in Imphal have demanded an NRC exercise and strict action to ensure territorial integrity, while the Kuki-dominated hill districts have called for precedence rule. Mr. Shah has announced a judicial commission which will be headed by a High Court judge to investigate the violence, and further said he sent out a warning saying those who violate the operation agreement will be dealt with sternly. Forces continue to be deployed in sensitive areas, while the internet ban has been extended by the government till the 5th of June. The Home Minister has also announced 10 lakhs compensation to the families of those killed in the violence, along with immediate supply of essential items like rice, vegetables, cooking gas and fuel. The centre will also deploy additional medical teams and will focus on boosting connectivity to ensure the movement of supplies and personnel. The big question remains, with the violence now under control, can the government defuse the crisis, and is this really the path to peace?
वार्ता और संवाद यही रास्ता है मतभेदों को और मिसअंडरस्टैंडिंग को क्लियर करने का। सो मिलिटेंट अगर समझौते की किसी भी प्रकार की शर्त का उल्लंघन करते हैं तो अब उन पर कठोर कार्यवाही होगी।
Let me bring in my guests now. B.L. Vora is the former DGP of Manipur. We have Nishikant Sapam, who is an independent MLA from the Meitei community. Lieutenant General Biren Singh is military academician and also the editor of Northeast Chronicle. He was in fact present in the meeting that was chaired by Home Minister Amit Shah. Beena Lakshmi Nepram is the founder of Manipur Women Gun Survivors. B.L. Vora, this confidence-building measure and the presence of Home Minister for 3 days, holding 50 meetings and also sending a clear message that he's heard all the sides, but it is about that violation which has happened of the suspension of operation agreement. Mr. Vora.
So I think it is a very good step that has been taken by the Home Minister. It's unusual for the Union Home Minister to find so much of time to go to a small state of Manipur for 3 days, consecutive days. Now, there were days, I think maybe only a decade ago, you have been on the TV, Maria, yourself, for a very long time. Northeast was never even discussed. And now for Home Minister to come and spend 3 days. But my only little complaint is that it was too late, because the situation had become bad, as you know, from May 5th onwards. And it had gone out of hand and there was violence, continuous violence. Intelligence must have been there, but I think the state government failed. Initially, the political parties failed, the state administration failed, the police failed, the security forces failed. Weapons were even looted from Assam Rifles units. I think how come that has happened? See, there are 3 major communities, as you know, in Manipur: Nagas, Kukis and Meiteis.
Mr. Vora, would you say
that
the presence of Home Minister for 3 days, do you think that will ensure the confidence building measure or the road to peace that the center is hoping for?
It will definitely give the building confidence to the people up there. But building on his work, the foundation that he has laid, is the work to be done by the state government and the political parties and the leaders of all the communities, leaders of at various stages, the civil society also, the student organizations also. They all have to chip in, including the army and the Assam Rifles and all that. And I think one is, of course, swift investigation, catching the culprits, recovering the arms. Maria, is very important. Over 1,000 weapons have been taken away by these guys. So I think this is very important, because if they are in their hands, and there are quite a few insurgent groups, as you know, in Manipur, so they will add to more violence in that state. So I think foundation has been laid, in short, by the visit of the Union Home Minister, but a lot of hard work remains to be done to see that the peace is there.
Okay, Bina Lakshmi, as someone who works with Manipur gun survivors, how do you look at this entire effort that has been made, the announcements that have come in terms of an inquiry which will be headed by a retired High Court judge? Do you think that will ensure that confidence that people need, that the center will ensure justice?
Thank you, Maria. First of all, I would like to share that there is still fighting going on. The violence has not ebbed, actually. Okay. So what is happening right now is that, yes, we welcome the work of the Union Home Minister to ensure that he meets all cross sections of the community, across the warring communities. And some efforts are in place, but as Mr. Vora also said, that I wouldn't say it's too late, but I think there has to be now a really proper way in which this must be investigated. So we welcome the Judicial Commission, but we also want a Truth and Reconciliation Commission. We want the women groups of the Northeast, because this is not just a Manipur issue. This issue, if Manipur is not contained, is going to spread across the Northeast. It's going to spread, this violence will spread, it will spread across the border areas too. So it's a national security issue that I have mentioned repeatedly in the programs. And I think it's really critical that not only right now, 17 peace talks are happening. Mr. Vora mentioned about several armed groups in the northeast of India. Manipur at one time had 60 armed groups. So we are always seeing the issue of the Manipur in a security lens. It's time that all concerned communities are sitting down together to be able to ensure that the territorial integrity of Manipur is protected, but at the same time to ensure the grievances, the hurt, the pain, the loss of so many of our Kuki communities and also the Meitei communities, whose houses have been burned repeatedly in the past 3 weeks to 4 weeks. This is stopped. We are calling that arms are laid down. All warring parties must go back. They must lay down the arms and ensure that there is peace process in place. So what the Home Minister has done is just like on the surface, but more work needs to be done at a community level, and women, mothers,
more work needs to be done. You are saying, even Mr. Vora agrees with you on that more work needs to be done. Let me get a word from the Meitei MLA, Nishikant. Nishikant, you know, the effort is to ensure that those ethnic fault lines which are there, which have been there for decades, that need not return on the surface, even as multiple versions are being, you know, made by the political class on ground as well. Would you then say that what has been done by the government of India with that effort of giving 3 days and also sending a message that they are really serious in ensuring that besides listening to the grievances, it's about ensuring reconciliation, that the two communities, the Kukis and the Meiteis, they find a path to coexist?
Well, that has to be done, otherwise there'll be no peace. I'm sure they're very serious, and I think the things that the Home Minister said, he stressed upon when he was leaving the press conference that he gave. One second, I'll just open up what he said. Was about following the Sioux ground rule very strictly. And 1 second. And one
Yes,
was illegal
the point that
weapons.
you're trying to make, of course, is yes, please go ahead.
I'm saying that what the Home Minister, when he gave his press conference, was illegal weapons has to be recovered. There will be, if necessary, combing operations, and Sioux groups
Yes.
will have to, the ground rule has to be followed strictly. And if it is not, then they will be dealt with accordingly. There will be a judicial inquiry, and these peace treaties will have to look at, and everybody, the MLAs and everybody has to find out a way to, cool down people in their own areas, and likewise in the hills also.
Yes, so you are essentially saying that the promises that have been made, or the path to peace that has been, roadmap in a way, where he has talked about 6-7 points, which the decisions which have been taken after deliberations that he has held, that is the right way to go ahead. And that will ensure that the two warring communities learn to live together.
Yeah, actually, you'll have to hold, everybody has to hold themselves back, stop the firing in the foothills. And
Yes.
I think, because see, this is all what I have to see is that everything was calm and cool till the 27th. Every 27th, it all started all of a sudden from all directions, shooting down. So that, right now what's happening is all the reaction of all that. It went on for like a couple of days till the 27th, till 26th. The curfew had been relaxed till 4 o'clock in the afternoon or evening, you may call it. It's like evening here. And but then suddenly 27th, prior to the Home Minister's arrival, it just took off. It looked too planned. And then these are all after effects going on. So everybody's out with guns, and that's what the Home Minister said. I mean, you'll have to disarm everybody.
Yes, and the suspension of operation agreement, which has some conditions, and if they are broken, then how do you ensure that it is enforced by both the sides?
The Sioux doesn't happen with both sides. It's in the hills. Okay. So that it's for the groups which are under the Sioux, they have to follow the ground rules properly. If not, that's what the Home Minister said. Otherwise, they will be dealt with according to the law, according to whatever. If they don't follow the ground rules, because it was not, I don't think it was being followed. I don't think it was being strictly adhered to, and it was a free for all. So that's what the Home Minister actually, earlier he had said that he will not give any press conference or anything like that. He said because he knew the situation is very sensitive, because if he said something that made a particular community happy, the other would be unhappy, and vice versa. So, but today he, I think, said, I will, say this myself, and this is what he said about the suspension of operation, because everybody in Imphal is very scared, because people who are supposed to be in the Sioux are not in the Sioux. I mean, there's a lot of heavy guns with, automatic weapons, AK-46 and all these things being used. And then suddenly you see a lot of people infiltrating. You find people in lungis and all, because nobody wears lungis in Manipur. It's across the border from Burma. And you have to realize that it is a national security threat, because you have omnipresence of the Chinese that side. I don't know who all are coming in. So this is going haywire. I mean, I'm sure that all the 10 MLAs of the Kuki MLAs, they must also be going berserk as to how this has gone out of control. I mean, there are rumors like that. They themselves didn't expect it.
Yes. So, and as per local officials, Mr. Vora, close to 1,500 arms and several rounds of ammunition have been looted. So that is the report that is coming from the ground. How soon do you expect everything that has been promised by the central government will be implemented and peace will return? Of course, internet has been suspended, Section 144 imposed, but that is really not a solution for a long-term peace.
See, actually, Maria, it's a very
Mr. Vora.
tough
Yes, go ahead.
task. Ground rules fund. I said lot of groundwork is required. See, it has to be done basically in two fronts. One is voluntarily people giving up arms, returning arms, and I think government should ensure and promise that no action will be taken against them. This is part one. Part two will be to do the combing operations, go after these people, catch them and get the weapons. Now that obviously means violence, and violence on both sides. Now there will be some hardened groups. As you know, Manipur is full of insurgent groups of all kinds. We have from Nagas, we have from Meiteis, we have from Kukis. Kukis, of course, are more active these days. Now, these people, they will use it as a weapon, and let's remember that Burma is right across the border there, and they go and find shelter there. So that's a very big thing. And recently, see, when some Burmese came from there after the situation, they, you know, one of the allegations against Kukis was that they were sheltering them. And apart from Kukis had other grievances. In fact, all the communities have, they are beautiful people, they have their apprehensions and of course their aspirations also. And of course political games are also played. But coming only for weapons, which as a policeman I am much more concerned, I think it has to be tackled on two fronts. And I would even go a step ahead and say those who voluntarily come and deposit arms, they should be even rewarded and no action should be taken against them. I think that will perhaps act as an incentive, because many people, you know, not only, for example, I may have looted weapons, but I may have kept in your house because, you know, we are family or friends and things like that. But I think to get up all the weapons, each one of them, is going to take a long time. And meanwhile, the chances of violence escalating there are very much there. Yeah.
Okay. General Singh, you know, give us a sense, particularly what all changed in the state since March. Of course, the Manipur government withdrew the agreement alleging that the Kuki National Army and Zomi Revolutionary Army were influencing agitation among forest encroachers. Do you think this government's role is also under the scanner? That there were certain wrong decisions that were taken perhaps?
No, I will not say wrong decisions, but what happened was this feeling of animosity was building up for last 3-4 years. It was just waiting for a trigger, and unfortunately, the system and various people who are supposed to be involved with this, they did not realize the ferocity of this violence which was going to be unleashed. Okay, like right from I retired in 2018, when I came home, I found that there was a lot of problem regarding construction of even the Central Sports University, with one tribe saying that this is our land. Similarly, in some sacred places, some tribe claiming that this is our land. I will not mention the tribe. So that went about. Now, this is what has really happened is, one must understand that Myanmar has been having a military junta right from the independence time. So people from across the border, they find it more convenient to come to India. They get a job because they are considered a scheduled tribe, or they get involved in poppy plantation. Now, when the poppy plantation uprooting started, there was a lot of heart burning because a lot of money was being wasted. Now, as far as the recent incident is concerned, somebody was talking about the weapons surrendering.
Okay.
About 10 days back, most of the weapons which were looted were surrendered. Most of the weapons, about 10 days back. But about 5 days back, this fresh wave of violence which broke out on the night of 27-28, that triggered again yet a second round of looting of weapons. Okay. So if these triggers which are being initiated in the foothills by the so-called Sioux groups, if they're checked, I'm quite confident that in the reaction which was taking place will reduce slowly. But as long as the people who are on the higher up in the hills, they continue to fire on the plain, obviously there will be a retaliation. That is what exactly happened on the night of 27-28.
Yes, there are...
Yes.
Yes, and the Imphal police is accusing Kuki Independent Army cadre for looting 25 sophisticated weapons as well. Since there is back and forth that is happening here, and there is a lot of myth or narrative building which has been built around this entire new spurt of violence that the state is seeing, Lieutenant General Singh. How will you say that? Is it in continuation with what Manipur has seen in the past, or is it a new narrative which is emerging here?
It is absolutely a brand
General
new
Singh.
narrative. This is absolutely a brand new thing. We have never seen so much of violence. Last violence was on June 18th, 2001. But there was nothing when compared to what is happening now. Here, as on today, nobody feels safe.
Okay.
There is, everyone is scared because there is nobody to punish. Today, if somebody's house is burnt, if somebody has been shot dead, I do not know who is going to punish whom. Because it is free for all. You see, either you defend yourself or your group defend your group.
Okay, so that, yes. So that sense of insecurity, which is so palpable, Nishikant Sapam, can there be talks between the Kuki MLAs and Meitei MLAs? Of course, Home Minister spoke to both the communities separately, visited their relief camps. But can the two stakeholders be brought on the talking table? Can you guys talk it out? Is that a possibility?
Yeah.
Or is this really far-fetched?
There is always a solution to any problem. The first thing is you have to disarm the people. The ground rules have to be adhered to very strictly, and those who are breaking must be dealt with. And those who have taken guns away, like General Saab is very correct, because in the first phase, more than, I think, 60% of the guns were being returned. Suddenly, like I said, on 27, there was deadly firing, suddenly started out of the blue. After that, I mean, more arms have been taken away, which is a fact. But now what the system is, what even the Home Minister is saying is that everybody should return the arms, and they should, because if they don't, then they'll be filed with FIR cases, NSAs and whatnot, which will spoil the lives of these young people. And they must return it before, otherwise they can be rewarded also for that. And first thing is to disarm. Secondly, then the CSOs have to do a wonderful job in civil society organizations, especially those who are from a neutral community, such as the Tangkhul, Kabui, and Manipuri Muslims. So they need to start, bridging and then make people connect, because we were all living peacefully, and those who were there from before, we are all people from the same state, whether you are a Kuki or whatever. It is only about, we only talk about infiltrators. All Kukis are not infiltrators. There are Meiteis on the Myanmar side also. There are Meiteis in Bangladesh also. Anybody who infiltrating after 1961 is a foreigner, is an infiltrator, simple as that. Other than that, those who have been there, we are all same people, and the CSOs have to play, the civil society organization has to play a great role in this, to bridge people, to build connections with the heart, because a lot of violence has taken place, and I'm sure the scars left in the heart will take a long time to heal. But why not? We must give peace the chance.
Absolutely.
And rule of law has to follow. Without rule of law following, nothing is possible. You see, the government or the central government, be it the central government or be it the state government, has to ensure that rule of law has to follow. It has to follow. In no circumstances, it cannot fail. It has failed. Therefore, there is complete chaos. It cannot go on. This is not a banana country. So, rule of law must come, and the civil society must do their job, and it will all fall into place. And there has to be an iron hand coming. Rule of law, finished. Nobody's above the law, whoever you are. That's the way I see it.
So, Beena Lakshmi, the role of organizations such as yours will become important, because, women in general can be that the bridge which can ensure that the two communities actually can forget their long fault lines, the deep fault lines, the ethnic fault lines which have existed for several years,
Absolutely.
decades.
Knowing this, in 2010, we started the Northeast India Women Initiative for Peace. And under that umbrella, we have had 4 Northeast India Women Peace congregations. 3 days before the violence broke out, Kuki women, Naga women, Meitei women, Ahomia women, Sikkimese women, we all met and started work just 3 days before. In fact, what is really shocking is the level in which the violence broke out in the most little way. But the thing is, we, the women communities of Manipur, have been the protectors of anti-colonial struggles from Nupi Lal to Meira Paibis, as well as Kuki mothers, the Kabui mothers have come out. Also the role of faith leaders.
Yes.
It's really critical. Church groups, Muslim groups, Manipuri groups, they're all coming out doing prayer sessions. So I think it's really important at this time that while recognizing that the solution is going to be critical, and let me point out to your viewers that the northeast of India is bordering 5 countries. China is above us, Burma, Bangladesh, Nepal,
Yes.
Bhutan. So it is a very geostrategic critical area. And that's why I keep saying that it's a national security issue to ensure that the protection of Manipur is a protection of the boundaries of India, and that we must work together to ensure, as Tamo has also said, ensure rule of law, but also ensure that those minority communities who are facing that they have been wronged, we should have a truth telling under the Truth and Reconciliation Commission to be sort of keep civil society leaders who are
there is a need for a Truth and Reconciliation Commission as well. My final word now from Mr. Vora. Mr. Vora, the state has got a new DGP. Would you say that this is some action particularly because of the nature of this conflict, which had been there on ground for almost a month? This decision should have happened much earlier.
Well, in a way, I agree with you. Yes, definitely. Change of leadership sends a different kind of good signal also to the people. But Maria, I wanted to add another caution. China would like now to fish in troubled waters.
Please go ahead.
Even Pakistan also. China has been earlier active, very much active in the northeast with the insurgent groups of Meiteis themselves. PL and all, they had gone, UNLF, they had gone to China for training in good old days. When I was posted there first time in 1980, I had interrogated the top PLA leader at that time, one Visheshwar Singh, and he had told me how they had gone to China for training. Those days, things were different. There was violence in Imphal all the time, round the clock in various mohallas and all. So almost those things are coming back. So we have to be beware of China and bring the situation under control as fast as possible. And Myanmar also, there are many dissatisfied groups who come here and they take shelters, and vice versa also. So I think it has international ramifications also. Besides, the economy of Manipur, which was doing so well, has got a huge setback. And we were talking of connecting India through Manipur to Burma and Thailand. You know that highway which is coming up. So I think this is all a very big setback. So I wish some preventive steps would have been taken, some foresight should have been shown earlier. But I mean, anyway, now that having been done, let us, I think, restore the situation as fast as possible.
Absolutely.
Maria.
All right. BL Vora, I appreciate your time. Nishikant Sapam and Lieutenant General Ellen Singh. Thank you, Beena Lakshmi, for your time. We are slipping into a short break. Up next, an exclusive conversation with Union Minister Nitin Gadkari, who will be talking about the Modi government's 9 years. Remember, the government has completed 9 years. It has got a lot of positive response coming in from the world. The world seems to be watching and looking towards India. And one of the ministers who has played a very important role is the Union, Transport and Road and Highways Minister, Nitin Gadkari. He returns. Stay with us. Don't go anywhere.
She has been sidelined in the industry. She's not been getting chances. She was banned from the dubbing industry. She was dubbing for a lot of movies, but then all of a sudden it stopped. And now once again, why is Chinmayi talking about it again? Because Chief Minister M.K. Stalin on Sunday had said that the Sengol was installed but has already been bent as the wrestlers were forcibly moved out of the protest side. So now Chinmay says that I welcome the statement by DMK President M.K. Stalin seeking justice for the wrestlers who filed or who've been complaining of molestation and harassment. But I have also been complaining. But why is the DMK not helping me? Why am I not getting justice so far? Is it because of the close links between Vairamuthu, the alleged molester, and DMK? So that's the tweet that Chinmay is bringing once again, because so far no action has been taken, no FIR has been registered in this case. Chinmay and 18 others have been talking about the ordeal that they went through and the kind of harassment that they faced against the lyricist, but claims that because of Vairamuthu's close links with the DMK, the accused or molester, she claims, is roaming free.
Okay, thank you, Purnima. Just stay with us, please. Brinda Adege is with us right now. Brinda Adege is, of course, a acclaimed activist. Brinda, thank you for joining us this morning on CNN News 18. Brinda, a lyricist in the South, making it very clear that she doesn't want to see hypocrisy from the DMK government in Tamil Nadu. What is your reaction?
I am in complete agreement with her, because when Stalin, the Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, is supporting the women wrestlers and they are quite far away from home, how can he not support women who have complained against Vairamuthu? Just because he is in close proximity with the DMK group, it doesn't mean he can be absolved of the crimes that he has committed against women. And this is harassment, sexual harassment, because he's in a position of power, because he is also closer to the powers that be, that he is getting away. And it is time for Mr. Stalin to take not only a moral step forward strongly, but also ensure that the police are directed to register cases against this person, against Vairamuthu. Only then will we all understand and believe that he is standing up for women's rights.
Chief Minister M.K. Stalin has extended his support to the wrestlers right here in the capital. Remember, we're talking right now about the wrestlers who over the last few days have very publicly, this is a protest that started in January, but have very publicly voiced that they want the arrest of the Wrestling Federation President Brij Bhushan. Now, in light of that development, a Tamil singer, this is Chinmay Sripada, she's tweeted to the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister in a tweet that calls out his perceived hypocrisy. She's essentially said that he and the government needs to take action against a lyricist, Vairamuthu. Remember, these are not in any way low-profile claims. The singer came out very publicly about 4 years ago and made these claims in the midst of the Me Too movement. She had claimed in the years after that she had faced a shadow ban within the industry. She had made complaints against 2 different people within the industry. One, of course, is Vairamuthu, we've just talked about, and the other was another prominent individual in the Tamil film industry, Radha Ravi. Now, Chinmay had come out in support of women who'd accused Radha Ravi of sexual misconduct also. It's in all of these regards that she's asked for more action. Now, we'll take a look at all of this in just a second. We will have my colleague Purnima join us in just a second to bring us more context. Remember, Chinmay Sripada had back in the early part, so about 4 years ago, she'd alleged that her membership from the South Indian Cine Television Artists and Dubbing Artists Union, so the SICTADAU, she'd said that it was axed just weeks after she came out in support of the women who'd named the actor-politician Radha Ravi, who was the president of that union, in the Me Too movement. Now, just a little while after that, she'd also made claims against the lyricist Vairamuthu. She'd said that he was a sexual harasser, and she'd actually detailed an incident she had with him in Switzerland. Now, according to Chinmay, in 2018, she was expelled from this union. Soon after, she voiced support for 2 women and made this claim against Vairamuthu. That very much continued. However, Chinmay says that she continued to give solidarity to these survivors. However, that came at the cost of her career. She has, in the last few years, claimed that she's lost many dubbing gigs, many work opportunities, where she's dropped last minute because she believes she voiced support for these women. She says that I know that calls were made. Now, she has continued to some degree to dub for Telugu movies, but it's in Tamil films that she has faced a large problem. Now, all of this obviously comes in the context of the Chief Minister, M.K. Stalin, making a very, very high-profile statement in support of the wrestlers in Delhi. You'll remember that the WFI Federation President Brij Bhushan has made a statement very recently where he has, of course, denied these charges. He'd said that he'd hang himself if any of the charges were proved true. But you've had a number of wrestlers led by 3 medalists at an international level who have been protesting against the WFI president. They've said that the WFI president engaged in sexual harassment of them. They've also said that sexual harassment was also done of a minor, and they continue to demand that he be removed as the WFI president in an immediate arrest. They've also said that he should be disqualified because, remember, Brij Bhushan remains a MP for the BJP. Now, Anurag Thakur, the sports minister, you remember, yesterday said that we should...
Hello everyone, we have a very interesting and a special newsmaker today. He is known as an infrastructure trailblazer because he is the face and the idea and the mind behind the web of roads and highways that you see across the country. Union Minister Nitin Gadkari is joining me. Mr. Gadkari, thank you so much for your time. So how do you plan to spend the next 1 year of your government? Because you have already spent the last 9 years in ensuring that all your vision regarding roads and highways are accomplished.
Actually, infrastructure development is very important for the country. Without good type of infrastructure, we don't have industry, trade and business. And without that, we cannot create job opportunities, employment potential in the country. And without that, we cannot eradicate the poverty. The basic thing is water, power, transport and communication. These are the important infrastructure which are very important for the development of our country. India is the fastest growing economy. We have tremendous opportunities. And now this is the time that we need to develop international standard of infrastructure in the country. The dream of our Prime Minister to make Indian economy of $5 trillion and making India as Atmanirbhar Bharat. For that reason, good type of infrastructure we need to develop. And as a Minister of Road Transport, my mission, my target and my dream is to make Indian road infrastructure of world standard. That is exactly I am always defining at up to the standard of USA before end of 24. We are making 32 green express highways, axis control, and only in Delhi, related with Delhi, we are making the project of 65,000 crores, and for that reason, everywhere in India, either you go to Northeast, Nagaland, Tripura, Manipur, Arunachal, Meghalaya, or you go to Kashmir also. We are making Jhojila tunnel. We have just Atal tunnel in the Himachal Pradesh. Then we are making this Jhedmore tunnel. Just we will complete within 2 months. After that, between Srinagar and Jammu, we are making 16 tunnels, out of which 12 tunnels we have already completed. So the way after that, the Katra Delhi Express Highway, from Delhi to Amritsar, it will be within 4 hours. Katra 6 hours, Srinagar 8 hours, Delhi to Jaipur 2 hours, Delhi to Dehradun 2 hours, Delhi to Haridwar 1.5 hours, Delhi to Manali through Chandigarh, it will be 6 hours.
So, Mr. Gadkari, you know, the way you are talking about it, it clearly shows that this is almost like your passion project. जिसके बारे में लेट बाल ठाकरे बोलते थे आपको रोड करी instead of Gadkari. So, you know, just looking at the data here, under your leadership, an unprecedented number of 53,953 kilometers of road length has been added from that period of 2013-14 to March last year. March this year, in fact. This is a whopping 59%. Is this something that you call as your success, or will you be saying that there are new milestones for you?
No. I never have any satisfaction about it. We need to do more. At the same time, we have 7 world record. That is to be great pride for the country that under the leadership of our Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, my ministry, with the help of all the stakeholders, Particularly, we have 7 world record. Now, actually, as far as the performance is concerned, people are very much satisfied about it. But my dream is to make at least 25,000 kilometers more roads in this period. That was my individual target. Still, we are trying. That NHI is making 6,000 kilometers per year. My target given to NHI is now 10,000 kilometers per year. And this is the way we are developing different type of models. BOT, PPP, hybrid annuity, then EPC, then InvIT model, by which we don't have money problem. Fortunately, the budget from the finance minister is very good. At the same time, 2,70,000 crore. At the same time, we are monetizing the roads, and that is the reason that we don't have problem. Now the second phase is, we are not only satisfied about the length of the road, but now we are making the logistic park of 2 lakh crore. We are making ropeway, cable car, funicular railway. We have 260 proposals costing 1,30,000 crores. Then we are planning to develop bus ports. And at the same time, for a city like Bangalore, Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai, where our idea is to develop public transport system on electricity, like Skybus. We want to develop electric highway from Delhi to Jaipur. We are working on that. And at the same time, we are now trying to develop with a new model electric buses in the country.
Yes, talking about electric buses, you know, because EVs have been your dream project. We saw you driving a electric car only recently. How feasible are these in terms of achievements? How soon can we see it?
Actually, it is already, the waiting list is there. If you want to purchase electric car, there is a waiting list for a year. Now we are
electric buses then?
Electric buses also, there is a short supply, because we need to increase our capacity for that. I got approval to launch double-decker electric bus in Mumbai. So the way in which electric mobility is now encouraged by all the sectors of society, first of all, you understand one problem. We have the import of fossil fuel of 16 lakh crore, and electric is indigenous. So my transport ministry, we have the priority on electric, ethanol, methanol, biodiesel, bio-LNG, bio-CNG, electric, and hydrogen. Now I got hydrogen car also. So in place of import of the 16 lakh crore, if we can reduce it up to 3 to 4 lakh crore, this 12 lakh crore will go into the Indian market, particularly in the India's rural agriculture and tribal India, for making of the alternative fuel. It is going to increase the growth rate in agriculture, creating new jobs, and at the same time protect the ecology and environment.
But what about the fact that the EVs are not able to generate that much curiosity because there is the lack of infrastructure, which includes charging stations, battery manufacturing capacity, etc. How do you see these challenges?
First of all, you are talking about charging infrastructure. Now the car which we have, they have the range of 400 kilometer to 600 kilometer per day. As per the survey for Bajaj and TVS scooter, it was coming the conclusion that the scooter running only 24 to 26 kilometer per day, and the car is maximum at 60 to 80 kilometer. So the problem is that already people can charge their electric car, electric tempo, electric auto rickshaw, or electric scooter in their house at night. Within 2 hours they can charge. Now the problem is not of charging in particular in the city area. Problem is when you start journey from Delhi to Mumbai, Delhi to Chandigarh, Delhi to Simla. So in NHI, we have already planning of making of 670 roadside amenities, and where there will be availability of charging stations. And if the bus is going there on our roadside amenities, there will be restaurant, malls, all type of shops there. And there will be half hour or 1 hour, the bus again going to the electric charging station, and after that again it will start. So now we are in process of starting electric trucks. So electric cable by which we want to take bus from Delhi to Jaipur. So there is no problem. I don't feel that this type of problem anywhere.
So everything is on track, but there's one concern which you have repeatedly shared regarding accidents on roads. You have spoken about helmets, the seat belts, fire alarm systems as well. But why, according to you, this menace has not been controlled? I'm going to quote you, sir, what you have said recently, that every year 5 lakh accidents take place in the country and 1.5 lakh people lose their lives, besides 3% of the GDP goes into it. These data certainly do not really augur well for a country which is on a march, and for someone like you who has a vision for this country.
You are absolutely correct. This is the only sector where I feel really problematic. We are trying our level best, but still we are not succeed, particularly in this particular sector. And now we are highest in the world. But it is because of there are 4 problems about automobile engineering, road engineering, education and emergency, and enforcement. We already have now new law, Road Safety Act, which is passed by the Parliament. We are making intelligent traffic system. But somewhere we need to change the human behavior of the people by and large. We are supposed that they should obey the law. That is very important. If the red signal is there, they should stop. That is exactly a big problem, that we need to have a good education to the small children by training them to how to implement this. This is very important. We are trying our level best. We are improving black spots. We have changing a lot of automobile engineering, particularly road safety is concerned. We are trying to go to universities, colleges, NGOs, media, making a lot of programs that how we can convince the people by and large about the road safety. We are working on very hard on this issue, but unfortunately, I accept that we are not have satisfied target which we want to fulfill. We are still not very much improvement is not there.
Mr. Gadkari, only recently a report has come, which is Morgan Stanley report, which has given a huge thumbs up to your government, and it has gone on to say that in a short span of 10 years, India has gained positions in the world order with significant positive consequences for the macro and market outlook. This is also coming at a time when you have faced a setback in the state of Karnataka. It has also spoken about stability being very key for economic development. When you read reports of this nature, because it was same Morgan Stanley, which is almost like a decade back, had said that Indian economy is in fragile 5, and now it is this shining example.
I will just give the example of my ministry. Particularly the automobile industry is related with my ministry. Presently the size of this industry is 7.5 lakh crores. Out of which 3 lakh crore is export. This industry is giving employment to 4 crore 50 lakhs young talented youth of this country. This industry is giving maximum GST to state and central government. Now our aim is to make this industry of 15 lakh crore. Presently in the world, our number was 4. But now we just 1 month before we surpassed Japan. Now the first number is China, second is USA, third is India, and fourth is Japan. So by gradually we are developing this industry. My dream is to within 5 years we will make this industry of 15 lakh crores, and we will be all reputed automobile brands present in India, and we will be number 1 in the world. So this is the story, this example indicating that not only in automobile, in the different sectors also, our number is now going to increase, and that is going to be, we are the fastest growing economy in the world, and the whole world is very much keenly interested to deal with Indian business, Indian industry. I feel that we have got a lot of young talented engineering manpower with the country. At the same time, the technology we have, and I always telling 2 important philosophy which I always remember. One is innovation, entrepreneurship, science, technology, research, skilled and successful practices. We name it as knowledge, and conversion of knowledge into wealth is the future. And the other important thing is no material is waste, no person is waste. It is depending upon the appropriate technology, it is depending on the appropriate vision of the leadership that you can convert waste into wealth. So these 2 philosophy on which one side we are making circulation economy using waste. We have already used 20 lakh ton of municipal waste in the UR2 ring road in Delhi, 20 lakh ton in Ahmedabad, Dolaro project we have already used. So the way in which we are now the West tire, the rubberized powder is using for adding in bitumen, 7% plastic we are adding in bitumen. Then we have already successfully implemented crash barrier from bamboo. So a lot of new innovative things, decisions for as far as the ecology and environment, we are taking the decisions. And I feel that the way in which we are marching towards making India as a super economic power, 100% already stable government is there. Under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi ji, I am fully confident that people will support BJP in the center, and 100% we will get a reasonable good majority in 2024.
So you're confident that 2024 it is the BJP government?
100%. Because I always tell people that the financial audit is very important, but performance audit is more important than financial audit. And our performance audit, the way in which we are working in this country, our track record, it already indicates that the 65 years of the Congress and the 10 years of the BJP under Modi ji government, BJP government under leadership of Modi ji, you can compare, you will get the answer of this question.
Then why is Rahul Gandhi not able to see what you are trying to show to India? Again, recently he traveled to the United States and he said that the construction of the new parliament building and other issues are essentially trying to distract from the issues that impact people, which is inflation and joblessness.
I feel that being an opposition party, it is up to him to decide what he wants to talk. But fortunately, opposition party is always in the mood of opposition. So they never understand what are the positive things in the country. We are positive, we are working hard, our results are open for all the people. People have faith on the government, and 100% we will change the future of this country to make India a super economic power. Whatever the opposition party may talk about it, but people will support BJP under the leadership of Modi ji. I am very much confident about it.
Mr. Gadkari, how do you look at this entire controversy around the inauguration of the new parliament?
The very unfortunate.
18 political parties in opposition boycotting the ceremony, and their argument was that it should be the President of India, being the first citizen of India, to inaugurate. She should have done it.
Actually, the opening of the parliament building, that was a great event in the history of our country. The media, the legislative wing, executive wing and judiciary. These are the four important pillars of Indian democracy. And the parliament is really, we always name it as a parliament as a Lokatantra Mandir. And that is the reason that we should not politicalize the inauguration of parliament. It is the duty of all the people who have faith on democracy. It is to be expected from that they should come and they should take the part in all type of programs, particularly inauguration of parliament. It's unfortunate some of the people who making politicalizing the issue, this particular issue, is not good for the country and neither good for the democracy.
And that includes Mr. Sharad Pawar, who comes from your state. Would you have advised him that for a senior leader such as him, he should have been telling other leaders in the opposition space that come, let's be part of this historic day?
Actually, I don't want to involve in the politics, but only I think which I expected from all the people, that we need to strengthen our democracy. We are the mother of the democracy in the world, and that is to be a great strength for India. And now qualitatively, it is the duty of all stakeholders, all political party, all leaders, that in the people eye particularly, we need to develop qualitative change in the system. And democracy is the basic strength for all of us. This is the time that leave the party politics, don't politicalize this issue, and support democracy is the need of the people, need of the society. And this time particularly, this example is going to indicate the strong character of Indian democracy, and that is to be this time exactly we need cooperation from the all political party which we are expecting. But the people who are politicizing this issue, unfortunately, this is not going to support to the particular those party from the people. That is to be most important thing which I feel about it.
But Mr. Gadkari, only recently the BJP faced a debacle in Karnataka. You were the party president, particularly at a time when the party was in opposition. And now we are seeing a lot of chatter in the opposition space, with Nitish Kumar almost leading the opposition front in saying that there should be one joint opposition candidate versus a BJP candidate. Do you think this is a utopian idea in the opposition space because of opposition in itself being a divided house?
I am very much positive about it. My principle and my conviction is always telling to me that you should talk about your performance, about your programs, about your projects, and about your innovative approach for development of the country. On the basis of that, you have to make your performance audit card. On the basis of that, we can go to the people. And I am talking about it with the ground evidence that the state like UP and Bihar, we are making the road of American standards, international standards. And now this is the time that with our performance, with positivity, we will go to the people. What the opposition leaders are talking, what initiative they are taking, even I don't want to take any cognizance for that. Because with our positive development and our performance under the leadership of Prime Minister Modi ji, I am very much positive and confident that we will get a reasonable good majority in 2024.
Since you're saying that you will get majority in 2024, what's happening in your home state of Maharashtra? There is a lot of buzz that is coming from the ground that Uddhav Thackeray has a degree of sympathy towards him, and that it is the Shinde faction and the BJP which is on a sticky wicket.
No, that is not the correct thing. Actually, the fact is that in Maharashtra, Shinde and Fadnavis government is doing excellent jobs. People have support for the government, and I am confident that in next assembly election also, the BJP and the Shinde factor, we will get good reasonable majority in the Maharashtra state.
My last question to you, and I'm going to go back to 9 years of your government. When you entered your office, you must have had plans for your ministry, and it's 9 years. I know you're not one of those who will be complacent in saying, मैंने सब achieve कर लिया. आपने क्या achieve नहीं किया?
बहुत कुछ achieve नहीं किया. देखिए, जो आदमी कार्य में, काम में समाधानी होता है, उसकी प्रगति नहीं होती. मुझे बहुत ऐसे प्लान हैं कि और कुछ काम देश के लिए और समाज के लिए करना है. और मैं ये मानता हूँ कि जो कुछ किया वो ठीक हुआ है, पर मैं इससे ज़्यादा कुछ कर सकता है. मैं ये देखता हूँ कि जो काम मैंने किया है उसमें प्रॉब्लम्स क्या थे और उसकी स्ट्रेंथ क्या है, वीकनेसेस क्या है. मैं वीकनेसेस को बदलकर स्ट्रेंथ में कैसे कन्वर्ट कर सकता हूँ, मैंने इनिशिएटिव लिए उसको कैसे पूरे कर सकता हूँ, देश को आगे ले जाने के लिए कैसे कोशिश कर सकता हूँ. क्योंकि मैं ऑलवेज फीलिंग दैट द पॉलिटिक्स इज अ इंस्ट्रूमेंट ऑफ सोशियो इकोनॉमिक रिफॉर्म एंड नेशनल रिकंस्ट्रक्शन इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट एम्बिशियस ड्रीम फॉर ऑल ऑफ अस. We are working for the country, we are working for the society, and we are working for the people, and how they will get sustainable development, that is to be the mission for all of us. I am lastly telling you about when I was president. In just front of our Karala there was a big board. There was 3 important missions we have. One is nationalism, second is good governance and development, and third is Antyodaya. The socio-economic thinking of Pandit Dindayal Upadhyay, the people who are socially, economically, educationally backward. They don't have house, they don't have clothes, they don't have food. They are God for us. We have to work for them. And we have to work for them till they will get all type of sustainable development. The most important thing in this 9 years of my tenure, the most important satisfaction for me, that when I was taken as a minister, 1 crore people was actually driving the cycle rickshaw. Some people who take the rickshaw on their nose. And now this is the time, at that time we launch new bill and mechanism driven e-rickshaw is in the country. We abolished that system, and today it is to be a great thing for humanity, and that is the reason that is to be a great thing, which is a contribution for our government, for the country and for the poor people. I always thinking on that light, how we can be more important and how we can give more relief to the people, poor people by and large, how we can give them sustainable development, how we can give them good comforts on the roads, how we can make the roads without accidents, and that is exactly the dream for all of us. We are working for that. Charevati, Charevati, Charevati.
Thank you so much, Mr. Gadkari. It's always a pleasure speaking to you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Namaskar. Thank you.
Namaste, Jai Hind, and welcome to this edition of The Right Stand. Ladies and gentlemen, we begin with a mega CNN News 18 exclusive on this Thursday edition. On this edition, we'll tell you one of the key reasons why the 2,000 rupee note had to go. Nearly 7 years after demonetization, top drawer counterfeit currency of high denomination was making its way back into the country, and the NIA during its investigation has unearthed the Pakistan and the D company link to this entire fake currency racket. Ever since 2019, the NIA has registered over 26 cases. In this News 18 exclusive, since 2019, the NIA has registered 26 cases of counterfeit currency, and most of them with a Pakistan connection. The cumulative face value of currency seized is more than 20 crore rupees, with around 60 to 70% of these notes in the denomination of 2,000 rupees. This is a CNN News 18 exclusive, with the NIA busting a multi-crore racket of near perfect notes. The fact that they are printed in Pakistan, making their way into India via Nepal, with a direct connection to the ISI and the D company. This is what we have unearthed in our CNN News 18 exclusive investigation. Yesha Kotak getting us these details. Have a look at our story.
Approximately 7 years after demonetization, counterfeit currency of higher denomination is making its way back to India. In the last several weeks, National Investigative Agency has registered several cases from Gujarat, Maharashtra and other states pertaining to fake currency. As a part of NIA investigation, it has been found out that the flow of counterfeit currency in India is being sent through Pakistan. Agency sources have stated that the kingpin of this modus operandi is a person called Uncle, who is believed to be the close aide of Dawood Ibrahim.
The case links have been established with the company. It has been established that the printing of these currencies was taking place at Pakistan, following which ISI and the company had an established route through which this currency was being sent to India.
Uncle's official communications with the accused from Naupada case has been established. Their communication is usually through WhatsApp calls from an international number. In this case, it has been found that WhatsApp number used was from Malaysia. As per investigation by NIA, an established route being used by the perpetrators is through Nepal and Pakistan, from where these high-quality currency notes are sent to India. These notes are printed in Pakistan, and most of the features of Indian currency are adapted in these notes, making it difficult to differentiate. NIA sources say the only reason they aren't a legal tender is because they have been printed in Pakistan. Sources have confirmed the role of the ISI and D gang in the organized crime. The modus operandi adopted by them is to send high-denomination currency in bulk and ensure they are circulated in the market in a single piece. Once these notes are smuggled into India, the handlers in India are informed about the future plan.
Over the last 4 years, NIA has registered approximately 26 cases when it comes to fake currencies. The valuation of these notes seized by NIA is more than rupees 20 crores. More recently, from Mumbai, the case of Naupada police station, which is in Thane, has come to forth. In fact, NIA has taken cognizance of this case, and 2 people who are related to this case have been arrested.
There were many operatives in Pakistan, again backed by the ISI predominantly. One of them was the D gang. And in the case in Naupada, where NIA has now conducted raids, the role of D company has been very clearly established.
500 and 1000 rupee notes were counterfeited the most before demonetization kicked in. Now it's with 2000 rupee notes, but with agencies working round the clock, such dirty designs from across the borders will be thwarted each time.
Yesha Kotak now joins us live. Yesha, so the NIA unearthing a big racket with the 2000 rupee note. but is there a similar concern with the 500 rupee note? And how are they able to print these notes near perfect in Pakistan?
So when it comes to these notes, be it the 500 or 2000 rupee note. So here, mostly the notes which are printed are of higher denomination. A lot of these rackets which are busted by agencies, be it NIA or even the state agencies, includes these higher value notes, which also means 500. But here, in case, as of now, the focus that we see for NIA, especially with this whole D-gang and ISI racket, has been with the 2000 note. Now, when you speak of how are these notes printed to near perfection, because when we spoke to NIA sources, it was clearly mentioned that the only difference in the notes which are printed in India and Pakistan is that because they are printed in Pakistan is where they are not legal tender. So they are exactly a replica of the 2000 rupee notes that we get in India. That is because when you speak of these 2000 notes, right from the material, that is the paper to printing, the printing ink, it's actually provided from India. It is sent to Pakistan is what our sources had told us, which is where we'd seen that even a few years back was where during demonetization this particular habit was curtailed. Yes.
Let me ask you, Yesha, how is it making its way in India, and what does the NIA believe? How many such fake notes are actually in circulation?
So when you speak of how many such cases that NIA has busted, there have been 26 ever since 2019 onwards. Before that, in 2018, there were 38 cases. NIA has started looking at these cases only from 2018 onwards. Before that was various state agencies and other agencies who were looking at it. So far, NIA has gotten, since 2019 onwards, actually a cumulative figure is of more than 20 crore. There have been more than 20 crore was what NIA has seized. Now you speak of the route, because it's been clearly established that these notes are being printed in Pakistan. They are being in fact supplied by ISI and the D-gang to India. We understand that the route that's being operated is from Pakistan to Bangladesh and Nepal, and from where it's making its way to India. So there's an established route that has been identified by the agencies. Also, when it comes to this Naupara case that we're talking about, particularly from Thane, it was in fact found out that these people who were arrested were getting a call on WhatsApp, but the number was traced to Malaysia. So the calls and people who are operating this are based out of Singapore and Malaysia, but the route is Pakistan, because Pakistan is where these notes are printed, and then through Nepal and Bangladesh borders is where it's infiltrated into India. Yes.
Now this person, Uncle, there is somebody who's called Uncle or nicknamed Uncle very close to Daud. Is it the same person?
Yes. So the person, like we've rightly spoken about, there was a call that was being made from Singapore and Malaysia. This call was being made by a person, Uncle. He is known to be one of the main members of the D company. Uncle was making calls to people, giving instructions to them while he was making these calls from Singapore or Malaysia. Now, let us understand that these calls are being made through Singapore and Malaysia.